toxic behaviors are actually actions, reactions. We're actually talking about attitudes that are driven by previous exposures, experiences, educations, and encounters, such that anybody and anything around the person who carries such a behavior gets wounded by interaction. So what are the toxic behaviors? Number one, let's look at the checklist. Number one is what we call shaming. Shaming. Are you in a relationship with someone who shames you? Are you in a relationship with someone who uses your looks, your failures, your weaknesses, your disadvantages to criticize you, demean you, and belittle you, not only privately, but also publicly? The person wants to marry you. The person is married to you. But at the same time, the person has a way, either in a sarcastic way or in a very direct way. The person has a way of shaming you in the public, such that when you want to speak in the public, the person will quickly come in and make statements like, I'm sorry, I know my wife wants to say something, or my husband wants to say something, but you know, I know he may find it difficult to express his thoughts, so let me say it on his behalf. Shaming. You are about to marry somebody, or you are married to somebody, and you are shaming the person, the mother of your children. You shame the mother of your children before your family members. You shame the father of your children even before your kids. You shame your partner before your friends and make yourself look so important. Here's a question. How can you be that important if you are saying the person you are connected to is a fool? Number two is ingratitude. Always comparing you. Always comparing what you gave with what somebody else gave. Thank you for giving me the money. Thank you for giving me the money you gave to me. Thank you for the car you bought for me on my birthday. Thank you so very much I know you bought me, a Mercedes C-Class. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. But my friend just sent me a picture of her own, the gift that her husband just gave to her. The husband just gave her, a Lamborghini, stuff like that. The husband just gave her Lamborghini. So what you want me to do? I mean, I just bought you this car. That's what I can afford. Must you tell me what your friend's husband bought for her now? It's a sign of ingratitude. When you've just been given something and you are now trying to refer to something that your partner, something that your friend have just received, or your friend just did for her own partner, to your partner, it's a sign of ingratitude. Number three, toxic behavior is called irresponsibility. Irresponsibility. Always avoiding and transferring major blames and responsibilities to your partner. Always transferring blames, never taking responsibility for your irresponsibility. Always transferring blames. Always accusing your partner for your actions, inactions, or reactions. Never taking blames for your decisions or your indecisions. Never taking responsibility. Always transferring blames. Inflexibility. Inflexibility. You are not flexible. Inflexibility. All right? You are very rigid. Very rigid. As it was, so it is, and so shall it be. World without end. You are still doing typewriting. ASDF, column JKSF, even when the world has moved. You are still learning shorthand, even when voice command and voice to text has come. You are still analog in a digital era. You are fixed. You are fixated. You are like a statue. You don't move. And you brag and you talk about, you are so proud of your rigidity. What do you get by just creating a rigid environment? Change. Change is the only thing that is constant in this world. Those who change grow. Those who grow change. You never grow if you don't change. And you cannot change if you don't let go of certain things that you've held on to in the past. Another toxic behavior to watch out for is insensitivity. Watch out for this. It is a fox that can destroy marriage, your marriage. Insensitivity. You don't care to know. You don't even care to attend to, if you know, what your partner's needs, what your partner's love or apology languages are. You don't care. You are insensitive to your partner's need, your partner's emotional need, your partner's conversational need, your partner's physical need, sexual needs. If you're married, you don't care. You are insensitive. You are more sensitive to the deflation in any of your car's tires. You are aware when one of the tire is not, proper. You know when your engine is not sounding well. You are sensitive. When something is wrong with your phone, you are sensitive. When something is wrong with some of the machines around, you are sensitive. But your partner, you are insensitive. Your partner is sick, you are insensitive. You don't care. You can walk out of the house, walk out, leave your partner unattended to. You never leave your partner in a fire. The next toxic behavior is what I call inconsistency. Inconsistency. You don't follow through. When you meet someone, you want to marry someone, and the person promised you, well, tomorrow we're going to see my mother, and then tomorrow, well, let's make it next month. We're going to get married in 2 weeks' time, and then 2 weeks' time, no, it's going to be in 2 months' time. Inconsistent. You don't keep to your words, to your partner, with your partner. You are inconsistent. Today, I'm going into farming. And then tomorrow, when your partner is invested emotionally into farming, you shift over. I'm going into, automobiles. And then your partner again changes. Now from automobile, I'm going into politics. From politics, you constantly like that. You are inconsistent. Criticism is another toxic behavior that can destroy any marriage or relationship. You are always negative. Always critical of your partner. Always negative. Always critical of your partner. You characterize your partner. You label your partner. You attack your partner's personality. Criticism. It's a terrible, toxic behavior. If you see it in anybody you want to marry, you better pause. You better ponder. Another toxic behavior is what we call contempt. Contempt is always there if you have criticism, but contempt is different. In contempt, you always want to bring down your partner so that you can establish yourself. You will bring down your partner. You will speak against her family. You will say, if not because of anything, why should someone like me from the kind of family I come from marry someone like you? You know the kind of education I have. Why should I even marry someone like you? Who did they have the kind of education that I have? I am well traveled. You are not. What gives you the audacity to talk to me? You're always using your advantage to demean your partner. It is called contempt. Unfaithfulness is another toxic behavior. Unfaithfulness. You are not dependable. You are not loyal. You are not constant. You don't have fidelity. You are not faithful to your covenant, to your vows, to your promises, so you cheat. You are involved in affairs and infidelity. You have other partners. You are unfaithful. And if you want to marry someone who already begins to show signs of unfaithfulness, he's not going to get better except God changes the person. If I were you, I will wait for God to change the person before I marry the person. Because there is no guarantee that when you marry the person, the change will happen instantly. Unfaithfulness is a terrible, toxic behavior. It's a fox that destroys marriages. The next toxic behavior is what I call negative influence or influence. When it comes to negative influence, we are saying that even though you are in the 21st century, what happened in the 19th century is still controlling you, influencing you, directing you, shaping your perspective, influencing your narrative, and making you look at your partner through the lenses of the past. You must give the person in your life now the liberty to prove himself or disprove himself or disapprove of himself. You must give the person the liberty to do so, rather than trying to preempt this person based on your previous relationships that you've had. Another thing that is considered a toxic behavior is what we call deficient fatherhood. Deficient fatherhood, meaning you had deficiency in the way you were being fathered. Your father was not available in your life from growing up stages, either because he died, either because he divorced your mom, or because he was not always around. So you were overmothered and underfathered. You have deficient fatherhood. So as a woman, you didn't have proper relationship with a man by relating with your father. And so it's affecting your relationship with men today. And as a man, you learn too much about life from a feminine perspective, so you don't understand the masculine perspective to life. You want to be a man, but you've not seen a man lead. You want to relate as a man to a woman, but you didn't see one relate to one in your house. Deficient fatherhood. Your father was not involved. Your father was not accessible. In the same vein today, you are also not involved. You are also not accessible. You are also unavailable. Rejection. It's another toxic behavior. You are in relationship with someone who is always rejecting you. It's a toxic behavior. The person makes you feel unwanted. The person makes you feel unloved. And the person makes you feel unwelcomed. Are you in any relationship like that, either with someone you want to marry or someone you're married to? You feel unwanted. You feel unwelcomed. You feel unloved. You are actually receiving rejection. It's a toxic behavior. Avoidance. Now, they are all connected. Anybody that is going to reject you must master the art of avoiding you. Are you in relationship with someone who's always avoiding you covertly or overtly? Always creating situations that makes two of you not to interact, not to converse, not to relate emotionally, physically, or sexually? If you find that kind of situation, it's an atmosphere of avoidance, and it is a toxic behavior. It destroys marriages and relationships.